In this video, I want to show you the basics of running Python. I'll show you a few different ways to start Python and run it, and I'll include just a few basics in terms of variables and displaying information. So the most basic way to run Python is in a terminal window. So you may be able to do this from Windows. I know how to do this on a Mac or on Linux. So basically, you just open up a terminal, and if you have a Python installation, you can just type Python, and the command prompt changes from something like either a % or maybe a $sign, depending on which shell you're using, and it becomes 3 greater than symbols, and you know you're in Python. So I can just define variables. For example, I'll store the value 7 in X, and then maybe 5 in Y. So that's an assignment statement. I'm storing the value of 5 in Y. And then Z can be the sum of X and Y. And of course this isn't showing me anything, so to make it show me something, I can type print and then Z, and it shows me the value stored in Z is 12. I can also make it print strings. I can make what we call an F string, and to do that I put F and then I put a placeholder here, and these braces provide a placeholder for the value of X, and then I'll put in more string and then the placeholder for the value of Y, like this. So that's an F string, and if I print, it says hello world. It tells me the value of X and Y. So that's one way to do this. Now again, this is the command line. I'm entering commands in here one at a time using Python, very much like a calculator. Another way to run this is using a script, and that's much more powerful actually, because I can put several commands in one script and then run them all together. So I'll exit my Python interactive mode, and so we're back, %, back in the command line. Let's write a script. Demo script.py. Py ending signifies to us that it's a Python script. So we create it, and we'll store here a name. So there's a string, and then we change it to an F string. We'll save it, and if I type ls, you'll see here, okay, there's my demo script. So now I can type Python and demo script, and this calls Python to interpret and evaluate my script. And you can see the output. Hello, my name is Bob. Okay, so that's command line and scripting. Now if you saw my last video, I showed you how to get Anaconda, so I'll show you the Anaconda interface, which is actually pretty nice. So when you fire up Anaconda, you get a Anaconda navigator like this. It comes with a development environment called Spyder. This is actually pretty nice. I would show it to you, but my Spyder isn't working so well right now. I upgraded my Mac to Big Sur, and a lot of things aren't happy. So actually what I'm doing here to show you Anaconda and Spyder is I'm going to splice in this video footage of me working on a Windows machine. So you're looking at my Mac desktop right now, but I have a connection to a Windows machine, so let's go over there and you can see my Spyder. So actually I'll close this so that we can start up Anaconda, and I'll go down here to the Start menu. We have Anaconda installed here already on this system, so I choose the Anaconda navigator. It'll bring that up. Okay, looks like we already have a Anaconda navigator running. That's fine. So I pull it up, and then I can choose Spyder. We fire up Spyder. It's a nice GUI, graphical user interface. Takes a moment, but what's nice here is that Spyder gives me an area to write a script, and so I can just type some things in here, and I can just run my script. I can choose here to execute it in the current console. That'll be fine. So we hit run. And you can see what happens here. I get the results in this console down here. It says the value of x is 12. Another thing I can do in this console is I can just type Python commands here. Okay, so that's Spyder. This is a very nice way to do things. One thing that's good about Spyder is it has syntax highlighting, so you can see that functions and values and variables get colored differently, as do comments, and so it really catches your eye and helps you see and understand your code better. Also on Windows, we have a command line, so let's just minimize this and that. And here's a command line. I typed Python up here at the command line, and I got my Python command environment here. So that's Spyder and command line on a PC. I'm going to show you another way I can do Python, and that is using Emacs. So Emacs is a little bit harder than Spyder, but it actually is more powerful in a lot of ways. So here's a new Emacs window. Emacs is just a text editor, and if you set up Emacs Org mode, which is sort of an extension to Emacs, you can do some really powerful things. So first what I'm going to do is save this document. Okay, so I've saved a demo script, and what I can do now is I can put code blocks in here. And now I can put in variables. This is another type of string. It's a basic string. Again, I'm using braces as a placeholder and 0 to indicate that I'm putting in the first thing in the list here, and I use the format function. So you have a string and then you put in a placeholder and you say format, and I'm going to put in here x plus y, building on what we did before. So I'm going to run this code block, Control C, and then yes, and there it is. There's my results. So I like Emacs Org mode because I can interweave text and code, and I can export my results to PDF or HTML. So here's an example of a PDF export. And here's the resulting document. And there's the code. Of course, I could work on formatting this, but now you know a few different ways to run Python. Okay, hope you found that helpful. In the next video, we'll talk more in depth about basics of Python, and I'll stick with just the Emacs Org.